Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing another haul in retrospect in which I go through the products that I hauled into my collection last year at this time and tell you whether I like them, am I still using them, did I declutter them, did I use them up, what's the story, Donna, what's the story? So quasi review of the products that I hauled in last year at this time, and I hope that you're here for it. With that said, for those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here on this channel, but ultimately I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup, and I'm assuming that you probably also like to talk about makeup or listen to people talk about makeup. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you find that this channel gives you everything that you're looking for in a beauty channel, and you'll want to subscribe before you go. And with all of that out of the way, let's roll into this haul in retrospect for the products that I brought into my beauty category last year at this time. All right. So there was not very much that I brought into my beauty inventory last year in March and April. Typically, I go to FLC every year in April and I get a lot of stuff in gratis. You guys either will see that soon or have seen it already. If it's up, I'll link it in the cards so that those of you who haven't seen it can, enjoy some of the craziness that we receive at Ulta Beauty's conferences every single year. So I don't tend to buy a whole lot in March or April because of the leadership conference that's coming. And I know it's coming, and I know I'm going to be seeing a lot of stuff come into my collection. But I actually have quite a list actually of the products that I brought into my makeup inventory in March and April of last year. Some of it's gratis, but more of it is purchased than is gratis. I'm not going to go through the stuff that I got in gratis at FLC, but in March, I did receive a few things from Benefit Cosmetics in gratis. I received the Benefit Waterproof Bad Gal Bang, which was new at the time. It was one of their launches, and Bad Gal Bang is my favorite mascara from Benefit, and I really, really love the Bad Gal Bang mascara, but I used the waterproof version. It's no longer in my collection, and to be frank, I probably would not repurchase it. I really just love the regular version. I didn't see any kind of dryness or clumpiness or flaking out of the regular version like I saw out of the waterproof version, and that's like bad news bears, because I really did think that that was going to make every single mascara that I put on my lashes like life proof, because I am a mixer of mascaras, much like I'm a mixer of foundations. So I don't mind putting 2 or 3 different kinds of mascaras on my lashes, and I just didn't love that mascara. And maybe it's because I was mixing it that I didn't love it as much, but there's that. So I wouldn't repurchase that. 24-hour brow setter was another thing that I got from them in gratis. It was just a mini version. I do typically give these mini versions away or give them to like my daughter, or use them up right away, put them in my travel bag. I do believe that this one I put into my travel bag because I don't like to carry around the larger version if I don't have to. And this is my holy grail brow product, so I'm really happy to say that I got all the usage out of that. I'm sure of it, and it is no longer in my collection because I will continue to purchase that over and over and over again. I love that brow product. The next one was I got a mini roller lash. I did give that to my mom. I don't love roller lash. Of all the Benefit mascaras, that's the only one that I don't love. It does irritate my eyes, so I didn't keep that. I gave it to my mom. And then the last piece of gratis that I got from them was the Boing Bright On concealer in the shade Nutmeg. So I got this, and I really do love this concealer. I actually have it in a concealer tone as well. So one is lychee and this one is nutmeg. And I use this one for color correcting under my eyes a lot. This is meant to be a two-step like concealer system. You're supposed to put this on and then you're supposed to put their cakeless concealer over the top of that. I like these on their own, but I am also not a huge like concealer person. So the formulation of this is really like serum-y like texture, really lightweight, and doesn't have like full coverage to it, but it's got a really beautiful lightweight texture, and in my humble opinion works for everything I need it to work for as far as coverage goes. So I still have this, I still use it, and yes, it's a year old, but it still smells like it did the day I brought it into my collection, so really happy with that product. I also got some products from Wella for Sebastian, actually. I got their Drench shampoo and conditioner in minis. We just got that again in gratis. I did use those. I take those out on the road with me or put them into the bucket of items that I take with me to like beauty school visits and stuff like that when I'm out networking. So those did get used or given away. I also got the No Breaker styling spray, which I gave to my sister. I don't put any heat or like not a lot of products on my hair, so to speak. So I did give that away as well. I don't think it went to my sister, actually. I don't know why I said my sister, but I do think it went to my daughter or my son. And then I also got the Good Hair Day hair clip from them, which is like a bobby pin that says Good Hair Day on it, and I have worn that. I love that thing. The rest I have on this list are all products that I purchased, and from one avenue or another. I did have one thing that I purchased from TJ Maxx, and that was the Fenty Kilowatt highlighter in Mint Mojito and Sandcastle. And I'm really disappointed in myself because I remember wanting this so bad when it came out, and I remember wanting it so bad when I picked it up. But as you guys can see, I haven't even touched it. Like, I haven't even touched it. There's no reason for me to have brought this into my collection at that point in time. I did buy this at that time, and then a few months later I bought another one from Fenty, one of the duos, and I think it's the hot pink and the coral. One to go into my own collection, one to go into my giveaways. I haven't touched that either. I think I decided that I didn't need that or something. I don't know what happened, but I don't think that it's in my collection, so I don't know where it went. I haven't even touched that product. And then I purchased some stuff from Ulta, and from Ulta I purchased the Fenty Gloss in Sweet Mouth. I love this gloss. It's one of my favorite glosses. I would put it on right now, but I've got like some lip chappedness and cracking going on, and I don't like to put like lip products that I can't sanitize on my lips while that is going on. So I do have this. I have used it 100,000 times, even though it doesn't look like I have. I love this. It's so beautiful. It just creates this different kind of like plumpy effect to your lips than most of her other glosses, and I do love the Fenty glosses. There was a point in time that I hated the Fenty glosses, and I don't know why I hated the Fenty glosses, but they're one of my favorite formulas. They're not sticky, they're not drying, they just give your lips this beautiful appearance. One of my favorites is that Sweet Mouth, actually. I also purchased the Ulta Beauty Eye Primer. This is the matte eye primer, and I purchased this because I had gotten a couple of Ulta Beauty, like, you know, free gift with purchases and previous purchases, and had used a mini version of this and loved it. So I did purchase it, and since then I have used a ton of it. It is probably about a third of the way gone at this point. I love this eye primer. Hands down, one of my favorite eye primers that you can purchase. And then I purchased some stuff in March from also Sephora. I wonder if this was when the Sephora spring sale happened last year, because there's actually an awful lot on here from Sephora, and I can't imagine me having spent this amount of money without there being a spring sale going on. But I purchased a couple of concealers. I purchased the LYS Brightening Concealer and the Dior Backstage Concealer, and I actually quite love both of these. I think that this one slowly but surely became one of my favorite concealers, and like I'm shocked that it's actually been in my collection for a year now, but also not, because I don't wear concealer a whole lot. This became one of my favorites, and I think that this matches my skin tone a whole lot better than this one. This one I have fallen in love with for the application process. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is actually a brush tip. I just love the applicator. This one I use for brightening. This one I, of course, use all over my face, but it is more my skin tone, and I really like both of those concealers, which I'm really happy about because I don't love concealer, but I did purchase two and was like, why did I purchase two? I definitely like those though. In addition to that, I did purchase a duo double-ended like lash adhesive, and this has seen more use than any of my other lash adhesives in my collection. I am actually using this one today to keep to put the lashes on my, I use this all the time. So even though it doesn't look like I use it all the time, there's quite a bit of windowing in this white one, but the black one is the one that I use the most because I really like there to not be any apparent glue remnants on my eyes between the lash and my liner. I purchased two things from Charlotte Tilbury. I only still have one item from that purchase because the other one I used up entirely. It was the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Lip Pencil in Iconic Nude. Fantastic, beautiful pencil. I have a couple of videos on my channel just talking about that pencil, period. I use that up so quickly, not because it is too creamy and you get too much, but because I could not put it down. I had to force myself to put it down. And then at the end of the day, I did a video trying to dupe it in my collection so that I didn't have to go right out and purchase it all over again, because I have something like 30 something lip pencils in my collection and don't need to purchase another one just so. And some of the like dupes that I found were like ColourPop Beeper and ColourPop BFF, and those are the ones that I'm using currently. I've got BFF on my lips today, but I also purchased the matte lipstick in Very Victoria, and this is the shade of it. This is supposed to be the Pillow Talk version for like olive complected people. I hated Pillow Talk. I thought that it was way too pink for me, and it came out on my lips a little bit too like almost baby doll pink on my lips. It was definitely not my perfect nude. But this one goes on my lips so beautifully and is such a different level of nude for me. This is definitely my perfect like Pillow Talk-esque lip color, and I wouldn't have purchased this if there wasn't a video. I can't remember who did it, but this was part of a video that somebody did talking about, you know, Pillow Talk and people who don't like Pillow Talk and why they don't like Pillow Talk, and the perfect color of skin tone undertones go with Pillow Talk, and those that don't could go with Very Victoria. So I did pick it up on a whim, and I'm glad that I did because I really do love it. I also got a like point perk and received a little tiny itty bitty melt makeup lipstick in the shade Frisky. I have used this a couple of times. This is very kind of coral in my humble opinion on me, and it probably pulls coral on a lot of people because that is it right there. It kind of reminds me of Pillow Talk in a way, but a lot more coral. It is also very, very matte. I don't think that I love it, but I also don't think that I hate it. It's a really beautiful like formula, not super uncomfortable to wear as far as a matte lipstick goes, but it's definitely got a lot more matte in it than even the Charlotte Tilbury matte lipstick does. I also got Pat McGrath blush in Flirtatious. This is one of her Skin Finish Divine blushes that she had just come out with at that time. This is the shade Flirtatious. And I think that in the pan, it looks very, like not anything at all, right? But on the skin, it's just such a beautiful, like almost too pale pink that looks so pretty and natural. And that's what I love about it. And I think that you can see it's got a little bit of a like sheeniness to it. So along with the fact that it goes on and it's natural and it looks just like a beautiful natural flush to your skin, it also gives you this like sheen that's almost also like lit from within kind of sheen, natural glowiness, not like glittery, not like shiny, not like greasy, but natural sheeniness to it that makes your skin just look so healthy and beautiful. So I love that blush and I'm so happy I picked it up. I also bought a Huda Beauty palette. I got the Wild Python palette. I do have a palette roulette on this palette. I'll stick up in the cards for you, but this is the color story on this guy. Like, I am nothing if I am not for the crazy color story eyeshadow palettes, right? So I do love this eyeshadow palette. It's actually quite a different formulation as far as the Obsessions palettes go. In my humble opinion, this did perform a lot better than I have seen a lot of her other Obsession palettes perform. So I don't necessarily think that this is the best color story, if I'm honest, but I picked it because I kind of like the like idiosyncrasies with the color story. But this like chartreusey color is not the best color, truly. It oxidizes to a really ugly like orangey brown color, so I don't love it, but I do like this palette a lot. So really happy that I brought that into my collection as well. And then the last thing I purchased in March was the Natasha Denona Mini Xenon palette. I have a palette roulette on this palette. I also have like a tutorial doing a halo eye with every single shade in this palette. So I will go ahead and put that up in the cards as well. I love this palette. Like, I couldn't be happier having brought in a palette into my collection as I am this one. It's just got one shimmer in it, which is a beautiful like silver shimmer, and then the rest are matte. It is a perfect grayscale eyeshadow palette. I have had zero problems using this, no fallout. I love Natasha Denona in the first place, so having like these basics to go along with every other palette that I have from her is essential in my humble opinion. So then in April, I did get, you know, a whole bunch of gratis because that was actually conference month. And then right after conference, went to help support a brand new FBL in her training. And the district that I went to had some of the iconic brands in it that I don't have in my district. So Chanel being that iconic brand. And I went absolutely gaga for like getting matched and all the things. But prior to that, like on the way down there, because it was a good 6-hour drive for me, I realized halfway there that I forgot some stuff in my beauty space that I needed to pick up. So I ended up picking up a mini of the Benefit Professional setting spray, which is my holy grail setting spray these days and has been for quite some time. No alcohol in it, holds your makeup down just like the Urban Decay All Nighter, which was my previous holy grail. And the mister on it is beautiful. So I just picked up and Benefit sells minis, which is fantastic. So I picked up a mini of that. I picked up a mini of Bad Gal Bang, which made me so angry because I had like 40 mascaras in my collection at that point in time and didn't need to be purchasing a mascara, but did have to purchase that. I also had to pick up 2 eyeliners. I picked up this one by LA Girl. This is the Shockwave in Rosewood. Now this is actually a lip liner, but I am wearing it as an eyeliner today. I've never had any kind of irritation from using their lip liners also as eyeliners, so I did purchase this as an eyeliner. At the point in time that I went down there, I can't remember which palette it was that I was using in my palette roulette series, but this just kind of went with every color in that palette, so I did purchase this. I also purchased another LA Girl one in, it was the LA Girl Ultimate Eyeliner, and I purchased that one in brown. And I purchased that one because they didn't have one of these shockwaves in brown. And that was the most regretful purchase of my life. That was the most horrid, waxy, hard to apply eyeliner I have ever in my life came across. So that one I used, I think, twice trying to put it onto my eyes, and then it promptly went into the declutter, the trash. I could not use it, so I got rid of that. Then I got to my locations, did the visits that I was going to do with the new person, and one of the last places we went to had Chanel, and I bought some Chanel. So one of the things that I bought was something that I had my eye on for the longest time, and that is the Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream, and this is what it looks like. Now it looks like I haven't used it at all, but I actually have used this quite a bit. I love this product. It is such a beautiful, like, glowy bronzer without like the shininess or the glitter particles, just the healthy glow of a bronzer. And it's actually a really great bronzing tone also, whereas like when I think of like the Sunkissed bronze that I have from Charlotte Tilbury that I bought approximately the same time frame, like that one leans a little bit more on the gray scale, so it works really well as a contour for me. As a matter of fact, I have it on as a contour today with a different bronzer over the top of it. This one is definitely luminous. It's definitely beautiful and whipped, but also balmy, if that makes any sense, without it being sticky, and so natural on the skin. So really happy to have purchased this, and I'm glad that I like it because it wasn't cheap. And then this, speaking of not cheap, is the most expensive the most expensive foundation that I have in my collection. And this is the Chanel Numero Un, and it's made with, I think it's camellia flowers is what it's called, and it's supposed to help like it's like skincare meets foundation, and I love this foundation. It is such a beautiful foundation on my skin. It honestly is really not a great shade match for me though, which is sad because I was professionally shade matched in the store by a Chanel ambassador, and it's not a perfect shade match for me. And especially not in May. Like I went there or not May, April, almost May, right? Where I was just spending time down in Texas. I should have had a tan. I'm certain I had a tan. This is definitely not a great shade match for me. So I do have to deepen this when I wear it. But and my deepening drops, I use the like debronzy drops, or I use another foundation that is too deep for me to deepen it. And then of course the formula is changed just slightly. But I love this formula. I love this foundation. It goes on so well, and I do feel like my skin looks better after I've used it several days in a row than what it looked like when I first started using it that first day. That is it. And I'm really happy to say that of all the products that I brought into my collection this time last year, like I have one that I haven't used at all. I'm certain I will though, because it's a highlighter. I just need to put it into maybe my Shop My Stash or a project pan or something. So one that I haven't used, one that I used entirely up, the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, and one that I used and did not like and threw away. But the rest of these products I've definitely used, definitely found some favorites actually in my collection since purchasing them, and really happy with the products that I purchased last year. So do you remember what you purchased last year at this time? I would be interested to hear from you what your thoughts are on the items that you brought into your collection this time last year. Do you remember like loving them, hating them? What are your memories of those products? I would be interested to hear from you down in the comments. So don't forget to hit me up down there. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the products that I just talked through. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. I do hope that you all are having an amazing month, that you're super excited about hopefully the heat that's coming your way, or the winter that's coming your way for my friends that are getting winter at this time of year. I just appreciate every single one of you for being here. I do hope that you love the video. I hope that you and yours are well, that you all are safe and healthy and getting along as best you can out there. I hope that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.